Good morning to all of you. We continue with the fundamentals of Java, and we move on from the same place where we left in. We will be continuing with the conversions. Now, what is a conversion? Conversion means converting from one data type to another data type. From one data type to another. It can be lower to higher or higher to lower. Are you getting it? So it is a conversion from a data type. From one data type to another data type is called as the conversions. Basically, the conversions are of two types. One is an implicit conversion and another one is an explicit conversion. Implicit means automatically, which is done by the compiler without the intervention of programmer. Programmer doesn't needs anything. He's not been taken into an account, and the compiler automatically converts. This is done from a lower data type to higher data type. That's why it's called as the type promotion. It is also called as the widening, because from a lower data type to bigger data type you go. It's called as the widening. Is it? It is an intrinsic. Intrinsic means automatically done inside the program. It's automatically done. That's why it's an intrinsic. All right. Now the conversion from a higher data type to lower data type is called as an explicit conversion. Why it is called an explicit? Because it is done forcibly. It is done by the user. It is done by the programmer. He converts a greater data type into a lower data type. So it's an explicit one. From a bigger to you come to a smaller. That's why it's called as the narrowing. It's called as the narrowing. It is also called as extrinsic because the extra factor is implemented here. And you use another operator called as a casting operator, and according to which data type you want to cast it, it's called as the typecasting. So we are going to study about its difference. We are going to move on with the first now one term, query-on. I had missed. I had to say the query-on. Now in the traditional programming languages, the float was converted to integer. When a float is still in Java also, when a float data type is converted to integer data type, it's called as the truncation. It is called as truncation. Are you getting it? It's called as the truncation. And what is the query-on? As I said, the query-on, it is in the traditional. When a lower data type int converts to float, it's a query-on or double. When you convert from lower to upper, it's also known as the query-on. In a message I was asked what is an Unicode. Now Unicode is a code, but that means every character or the string which you are going to store, even a character you are going to store, that gets stored into a two bytes. Suppose A you want to store, it requires a 2 bytes. If you change into the language Hindi, O has to be stored. It requires a 2 bytes. If it is in Spanish, one character, it has to be stored into 2 bytes. So uniform characters. This is called as a uniform Unicode. 2 bytes required to save. This is the reason why Java the value does not changes according to the change in the systems and with the configuration of the system, because everywhere, let it be a laptop, desktop, or it is running in a Windows 95 or it is running in a Windows 10, the character to required space to save is 2 bytes only and nothing else. This is what a Unicode format. And somebody asked me what is the ASCII code then. In a Unicode format, the first 128 characters are ASCII codes. This is an American standard code for information interchange. This is universal and it has been used by almost all the softwares. It is almost used by all the softwares. The first 128 characters is a Unicode. ASCII values. Unicode is ASCII values. That is from capital A to capital Z. it is 65 to 90. Small a to small z is 97 to 122. 0 to 9, 48 to 57. Space is 32. This is what the difference is. So let's move on with the difference and the other things, the operators also. Let's move on. So we continue with it, the term from the explicit, still in explicit conversion. Now our term is truncation. When it is a float data type is converted into integer type is known as truncation. It is a special one. So when you convert int a, and suppose here it is float 3.76 and int a equals to int let the variable be b, so float b. Now this is called as the truncation. This is a conversion only, explicit conversion. You are converting it explicitly, but it's called as the truncation. Now what is the difference between implicit and an explicit one? Now, done automatically from lower to higher. Now it is done forcibly from higher to lower. Second thing, also known as widening. Now here known as narrowing. It is also known as Koirion. Intrinsic, built-in types, built-in Koirion, intrinsic. It's also known as explicit typecasting, extrinsic. Is it? Now what is our this is all about the implicit and explicit type of conversions. Implicit and explicit type of conversion, it is done by the compiler without informing programmer, done explicitly by the user, or you can call it as a programmer. Now, what is the can there be any can there be any demerits of it? So demerits of explicit conversion. Now first one is possible loss of precisions, or possible loss of precision. Now one thing, it is a possible loss of precision because decimal values get lost. Now loss of precision means decimal values will get lost. Now when it is lost, what is hampered? Accuracy gets hampered. Is it not? Hampered, or you can call it as lost. Accuracy is lost, and hard to debug the value. Hard to debug the accurate value. This is what a demerit of an explicit type of conversions. Now we will be moving on with the operators. Now what are operators? Now these are the symbols used for solving expressions. Now they are of different type. Now it can be arithmetic operators. Now arithmetic operators, as there is an arithmetic operators. What the arithmetic operators are? They are the plus, minus, into, divide, and these are all sorts of arithmetic operator. Then the unary operators, increment, decrement, modulus operator, bitwise operator, relational operators, you can have conditional operators, assignment operators, now you can have a compound, and likewise there are different operators, different many names are there. Whatever we feel is required for us, till there we will be studying about those things. So according to, now first we will move on with the arithmetical operators. Is it? Now what are the arithmetical operators? Now what are arithmetical operators? These are used to perform arithmetic functions. Now, for example, plus, minus, into, divide. This is so a plus b. Now this is a and b are operand, and the plus is the operator. So to perform an arithmetical operator, two operands are required. Therefore, maximum the arithmetical operators can be divided into two types. One is a binary operator. Now bi means two. So it requires two operands. Unary operators requires one operand. So you can have unary plus and unary minus. Now it is similar to its use is similar as in the mathematics. If a equals to 5, it means A contains a positive value 5. If A equals to minus 5, what it means? A contains a value minus 5. Contains minus 5. Is it? And this contains a positive number 5. Is it? Now unary minus, A equals to minus 5. What it means now? It contains 5. But minus A contains minus 5. It means it contains now 5. So what is it? Minus 5. So it becomes a 5. Positive 5, as in mathematics. This is a unary operator. Alright. Now this is all about the arithmetic operators. Now let's move on to the most important one, the increment and decrement operators. We will be moving on with the increment and decrement operators. Now, hope so everybody knows it. Now in Java, plus plus is the increment operator, which increases the value of operand by 1. Is it? It increases the value of the operand by 1, whereas the minus minus is the decrement operator, which decreases the value of operand by 1. It decreases the value of the operand by 1. This is what our basic difference is. Increases with a value and decreases the value of the operator by 1. Now, the implementation. Suppose A equals to A. Now, it has two forms. Prefix. Now, prefix means here the symbol, symbol is present before the operand. Here the symbol is present before the operand, and what it does now, there it follows a rule. What is the rule about it? Change then use. What it means, change then use? The new value is used. New value is used for calculation. Now, what is a postfix? The symbol is present after the operand. Is it? Now, what is the rule of it? The rule means use then change. So, actual value is used for calculation, then it is changed, then only it is changed. Is it? So this is the prefix and the postfix. Now here we come as a compound assignment modulus operator, and then after this modulus operator we will come to the compound assignment operator. Now the modulus operator. So what is a modulus operator? Now the modulus operator returns remainder of division operator. After the division, it returns the remainder. This is what is suppose 42 mod 10, you get a 2. Now 42.5 mod 10, you will get 2.5. This is what a modulus operator is. Now one thing you must remember, suppose 17 mod 5, now answer is 2. 17 mod minus 5, answer is 2. Minus 17 mod 5, is minus 2. Minus 17 mod minus 5 is minus 2. What it means? Now the positive sign, the sign of the outputs depend upon the sign of the first operand. Whatever will the sign of the first operand, according to that the output will be shown to you. Alright, now moving back to a compound assignment operators. What are compound assignment operators? Now first of all, assignment operator. Now you know that assignment operators. Equal to is the assignment operator, which is used to assign a value to a variable or operand, whatever you can call it. Now a equals to 10, you are assigning a value. This is what an assignment operator. Now here we comes compound assignment operator. The compound assignment operators. What are the compound assignment operators? Now the compound assignment operators means what? Now it is nothing else but it's a combination of any arithmetical and assignment operator. It is also known as shorthand operator. Also known as shorthand operator. It is also known as shorthand operator. What is a shorthand operator now? For example, a equals to a plus 2. Now you can write it like this: a plus equals to 2. This is shorthand operator, or this is called as the compound assignment operators. Alright, a equals to a minus 2. So you can write it a minus equals to 2. A equals to a into 2. So you can write it like this: a into equals to 2. This is what are shorthand operators. Is it? And now the relational operators, you people know it. What is the relational operators? Greater than, less than, equals to, which has a return type of a Boolean return type. Now our relational operators. It return type is Boolean. For example, greater than, less than, greater than, equals to, less than, equals to, not equals to, equals to. Is it? Now equals to is a comparison operator. Comparison operator. That you know very well. You have used it so many times. It compares two value whether they are equal or not. Now logical operators. So many times it's been used. There are three types. First one is AND. Then second one is OR. And third one is NOT. This thing I had discussed while writing if else and other programs. So there you can find these things out. Thank you.